Good morning, staff and students. Hi, my name is Tasso and I'm coming to you live from the WLNK studio. Today is Friday, September 30th, 2016. Elk Grove Village is expected to have a high of 64 and a low of 58 with afternoon showers. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our pledge people for today are
Gabriella, Raya,
Naomi,
Grace.
And now here's Nicole with sports.
Thank you, Tasso. The Chicago Cubs and Pittsburgh Pirates played to the first tie game in the Major League since 2005 when rain forced the teams to stop the game in the sixth inning Thursday night with a score of 1-1. This weekend's games against the Reds mark a final three-game tune-up for the Cubs, who open the division series on October 7th. Tonight the White Sox are at home taking on the Twins after a loss last night against the Rays. Hockey fans will be happy to hear the Blackhawks also play tonight. They hit the road to hopefully defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins after losing to them Wednesday night 2-0 at the United Center. And finally, in Chicago sports news, for a second straight year, the Bears are looking to overcome a brutal start to their season. Now 0-3, they realize there are 13 games left in the season, and it's time to turn their game around. Flipping the script and beating the Lions is just what the Bears need this week. It should be a good matchup Sunday at Soldier Field. And now back to you, Tasso.
Congratulations to kindergarten classrooms. They earned enough paws for Pajama Day. Great job. Room 206 earned double the paws that they needed. The third grade classroom will be having a double celebration, stuffed animal and crazy hair day. Don't forget Monday, October 3rd starts National Bully Prevention Month. Monday at Link School is Put a Lid on Disrespect. Wear a hat to school to show that day to show support. And now a word from Mrs. Romanelli.
Good morning. I love that Tasso brought up that Monday we need to put a lid on disrespect and wear hats. And I also want to point out I have my band from last year that says Stand Up to Bullying. I found it at home and I remembered to wear it today. So please go home this weekend, look for your band that you received last year and wear it next week. We will give some positive rewards or paws to those that remember and wear it. Some of you were not here last year, so we'll try to pass those out to those that did not receive one last year. Now I would like to go over this week's nominations for the keys. Ariana from Mrs. Romero's classroom for the commitment key. She commits to helping out friends who are unsure of what to do. Ariana is a role model student who does what it takes to help others. Great job, Ariana. Our next one is Mason from Miss Schlosser's class for the integrity key. He was nominated by Ms. Rutowski. He finished his artwork early and decided to help another student that was having a difficult time with the project in class. He was very patient with the student and they both got the artwork done together. What teamwork! Next, James from Miss Logan's class for the commitment key. He was also nominated by Ms. Rutowski. James had a difficult time focusing during art last week. He remained on task this week, but then he remained on task the entire hour and completed his work. Way to go, James. We love to see that improvement. Danielle in Mrs. Gallo's 5th grade classroom for the integrity key. She was actually nominated by another 5th grader, Leah. Danielle helps others at her table and will do things that others are supposed to do. Way to help out in the classroom. Max in Mrs. Gallo's 5th grade classroom for the commitment key. He has come a long way in these few short weeks to show that he can be a role model and be respectful to adults. Now we have a kindergartner, Natania, from Miss Beavency's classroom for the This Is It key. She's always following directions. She's involved in class discussions. She helps everyone in the classroom when needed and is always going above and beyond what is asked of her. She is starting her year off in kindergarten on the right foot. Way to go. Okay, now we have staff. The first staff member we'd like to recognize is Mrs. Benson for the integrity key. She was nominated by Mrs. Gallo. She has gone above and beyond her duties. She is the rock of the 5th grade team, and Mrs. Gallo would be lost without her. She is smart, she's hardworking, and a team player. She is the definition of integrity. Way to go. Next, Mrs. Bosonic for the commitment key. She was nominated by Mrs. Reeder. She strives to see that all her students understand math concepts by providing math supports to help them learn. Next, we have Mrs. Calamares for the key of flexibility. She was nominated by Mrs. Morales. Mrs. Calamares works with multiple grade levels and is constantly having to readjust based on changes that occur throughout the day with any given grade. She can just switch gears willingly in order to do the best for her students. Thank you for everything you do, Mrs. Calamares. Okay, that was all of our staff and students. And now it is September 30th, and we are going to announce the classes that were nominated for Lion of the Pride of the Month. Sorry. So we have the primary class to start off. Mrs. Hamlin's 2nd grade class. They were nominated by Mrs. Dahlke. They have shown a This Is It attitude in music class by always singing with enthusiasm and having 100% participation. They have great character and genuinely care about each other's well-being. Awesome job. Okay, now for the intermediate class this month. Mrs. Morales' 3rd grade classroom, room 206. They have done such an amazing job this first month following the key of This Is It. Students are always focused and making the most of every moment. They collaborate with each other to make sure that everyone around them finds success. Mrs. Wojcik, Mrs. Calamares, and Mrs. Morales are so impressed with their hard work and dedication to their work in both languages. They do what it takes to get the job done.
Manelli, thank you for tuning in to the WLNK studio for your morning news. Have a fantastic Friday.